Hey guys, it's Brandon from Elkaville Aquatics, and we're at my house today. We're going to be taking a look at my Discus tank. I'm going to give you some care tips. This is a 75-gallon tank. They have 4 Discus in here. There's a Royal Pleco in here, and probably half a dozen Cory cats. Like I said, it's 75 gallons. For Discus, I'd recommend at least a 55-gallon tank because you're going to want to have at least 5 or more to establish a pecking order. These guys here, they get along pretty well now. When there was only 3 of them, they fought a little bit more. As you can see, he's chasing them around a little bit. There was more in here, but unfortunately they got a fungus and didn't make it, which does happen quite often with Discus. So I've started a new way I acclimate them. Pretty much I just treat them right away when I get this. I pretty much just keep this in my tank because they get fungus so easily. I keep it around 85 degrees, and a lot of people say that you'll have a hard time growing plants anything above 82 degrees. These plants are growing fine. I don't do CO2. I don't do anything like that. They just seem to keep growing. So, but yeah, you'd want to have 55 or larger tank. 1 Discus per 10 gallons. So this is a 75 gallon. So I could have 7. Water temperature, anywhere, I would recommend 84, 85 degrees. But really you're safe anywhere from 82 to 88. I feed these guys 2 to 3 times a day. I feed them beef heart, bloodworms, these fluval flakes, and Viber bites. Sorry for all the stuff floating in the tank. That's from the Pleco chewing on the wood. Another thing that's really important with Discus is filtration. I have AquaClear 110 and AquaClear 70, which doesn't fit on this tank, but I've kind of made it work. Just so you guys know that if you have a 75-gallon tank, an AquaClear 70 will not fit on it because this is too thick right here. It doesn't fit on there right, and you kind of have to jam it on there. And then your lid doesn't fit right. It still works, but just so you guys know that you definitely want to get a 110 for a 75. See if I can show you the side here. Yeah, you can see it doesn't fit very well, but it works. And then behind these rocks here, there is a sponge filter, which I run sponge filters on all my tanks. Filtration for these guys is really important. You want to have your water as clear and as clean as you can. And everyone talks about pH levels. My pH is like about 6.8. Now I know people have tried to adjust their pHs for the Discus and have it not work out so well. Well, I've done nothing to my pH and these guys seem to be fine. I've had these guys for a couple months now and they're growing good. Got lots of color. I think what happens is when people start adjusting the pH and using the buffers and raising and lowering the pH, I think it just stresses them out more than it does any good. We've actually tested the pH that these guys came in, and it was above 7. I don't remember exactly what it was, so the breeders are probably breeding them in water the same as what we have. And you want to make sure when you do water changes, I do water changes once a week on this. I was doing 2 times a week, but with the filtration I have, I think it's safe to just do one big water change a week. You just have to make sure you vacuum really well. Discus are some of my favorite fish. So let's talk a little bit about tank mates. They have this Royal Pleco here. He leaves them alone for the most part. I know online you're going to find that a lot of people say that you only want to use bushy nose plecos and smaller plecos because these larger plecos can suck the slime coat off the flat fish. Well, I've never seen him do it. I've never seen any wounds on my fish. I just make sure I give him algae wafers every other day. And he's got tons of driftwood in here to be chewing on, so I've never had a problem with him. So I'd say if you did put one of these larger plecos in with your Discus, and use caution. You're going to want to pay attention. That's the other thing that he does there too, that he clouds the tank up all the time. That's another drawback of having a larger pleco. Just throwing sand everywhere. Cory cats, like I have in here. There's an albino right here. They do a really nice job because pretty much the only thing they eat is things off the bottom. So they really help you keep the tank clean. So I recommend keeping Cory cats with a Discus. If you're going to get a Discus and you watch a lot of care videos, everyone has Cory cats with them. A lot of people like to keep them with tetras, rams. I did have some rams in here, but it never works out for me. My rams they always just fight, and I don't understand it. So I stopped doing that. But that's like the most common tank mates you're gonna see is rams and Cory cats. Just think that Discus are just beautiful fish. These are actually still juveniles. They'll get quite a bit bigger. I do plan on picking up a couple more to at least get 6 of them in here. I just haven't really, we haven't got any in that I don't already have. Like this blue diamond, and these wild discus, and the yellow. There's another thing that's pretty cool. With the yellow discus, he's kind of orange right now. That's because this color enhancing food turns him orange. If I stop feeding him the pellets and the color enhancing food and I just feed him the bloodworms and the beef heart, I was feeding him brine shrimp, but I wouldn't really recommend that either. But if you feed him that, he'll go back to solid yellow. Of course, I'm talking about him, he's going to hide. But the thing with the brine shrimp, I wouldn't really feed the brine shrimp because it can give them parasites, and discus are so, they get parasites and fungus so easily. That's why I was saying, if you get discus, of course the proper thing to do would be quarantine them and treat them for parasites before you even put them in. But if you can't do that, like me, I don't have a tank open to quarantine these guys. I just dose the tank with Pimafix just in case. Because it's not going to hurt them to have it in there, and it's just going to help them from getting fungus if they don't even have it, because it seems like every time I add a new fish, they get fungus. And it will kill discus really fast. It doesn't matter how hard you try to save them. Once they get fungus and they get so far, they're probably not going to make it. But everyone says like discus are really hard to care for. I would say they're pretty just a standard fish to take care for until they get sick, and then it becomes a problem. When they get sick, they're really hard to save. Excuse me. It's not like with your big cichlids, they get sick and you can save them easily. Once these guys get sick, they're probably not going to make it. Well, if you guys have made it this far in this terrible video, make sure you like, comment, subscribe. I know our videos aren't the greatest right now, especially mine. We're still new to this and we're trying to grow the YouTube channel. So it would mean a lot if you could like, comment, and subscribe. Thank you for watching.